Minecraft recently added the Nautilus, an underwater creature that you can tame, and I want to find all of the rare variants and create an ocean-themed village full of cozy builds in the middle of the ocean, unless the drowned get me first. But first we actually have to find and tame the Nautilus. It spawns in the ocean, so we gotta fly out of my base. And now we can also show off my new zombie horse cape on the elytra, which looks kinda creepy. Let me know in the comments if you got the cape too. And the ocean starts over here, so let's go and dive in. Hello? Fishy fishy? Oh, Nautilus. Let's just fly swim with our elytra underwater until we see some. Oh my gosh, I see them. I see them! They look so cool, but we cannot sit on them yet because we actually have to tame them. And to tame them, we need to fly to a different kind of ocean, the coral reef biome. Because in this biome, you can find the one mob that can tame a Nautilus, a little poisonous pufferfish. Come here, little fishy fishy fishy. Get wrecked. Now we just need many, many more. After slaying a bunch of pufferfish, I flew back home because I actually forgot one super important thing that I need to sit on a Nautilus, a saddle. But I still have a bunch of them in my storage from looting in End City. And it just started raining, so let's go dive back into the ocean and find the Nautilus again. I found one. Look at this guy. He's so cute. I think I just have to feed it this pufferfish. Please? Please love me. Please love me. Come on. Come on, please. Are you kidding me? I need more pufferfish, and I'm gonna drown. But I'm not giving up, I'm going to tame that Nautilus. So I went back to the coral reef and got more pufferfish. There's actually a pretty cool trick to spot pufferfish more easily. We just have to turn on hitboxes, which means we can spot all of the underwater creatures much easier because there's a box around them. Get wrecked. Now I've got 11 pufferfish, but I also got 4 pufferfish heads. I'm a fish, my name is Mrs. Puff. They're going to be amazing decor for my Nautilus base. But first, let's actually tame a Nautilus. This guy has to love me. Come on. Come on, do it. Please do it. Please love me. Yay! We did it! I'm on the Nautilus. We put the saddle on, and now we can ride it. Whoa! I can go underwater, and I have Breath of the Nautilus, which means infinite water breathing. Whoa! It can dash. Wait, this is the coolest thing ever. Look at this. Now we've got a new underwater friend that can dash really far, which is so cool. And to get to know the Nautilus and learn how to control it, I want to do something I've never done in this world, and that is explore the ocean. There are so many cool things that you can find underwater, and me and my new Nautilus friend are gonna see it all. The first thing I found was a giant water cave, which had a huge vein of diamonds just right there on the wall. I'm gonna take all of them. We kept exploring the cave and found even more diamonds on the wall, and even more hidden in the ceiling. Oh my gosh, I can't stop finding diamonds. And my Nautilus is running away. That's very naughty. This. I also found a ruined nether portal, which had an enchanted golden apple as loot, which was pretty cool. We also slayed more pufferfish in case I want to tame more Nautiluses, or Nautili. I don't even know anymore. The Nautilus also doesn't take poison damage from the pufferfish, but I do, so I need to be careful. I also encountered a tiny mini baby drowned with a tiny baby fork who really didn't appreciate us swimming through their ocean. And I almost died to it, but slayed in the end. But when I went to the surface to recover from that encounter, I saw this beautiful area surrounding the water. And the best thing is that it's pretty close to my starter base island. So I can build a home for the Nautilus right here in this area, and I think it's going to be really beautiful. But first I have to actually get the resources, so I tied up the Nautilus on a fence post underwater. And he really loves swimming in a circle, so I think he's going to be fine. As long as the drowned don't get him. And so the drowned don't get me, we can just quickly fly away over to my home. It's so weird that this island here is completely decorated, but the rest of the world is completely empty. But we're gonna change that, step by step by building more things all around this world, like a beautiful water base. And since I want that place to be on water, we actually need a lot of blocks to create platforms where builds are gonna sit on. And the best thing we can use for that is spruce wood. So here we are in my wood farm. And I've actually spent a lot of time under this farm where my automatic wood farm lies, and I can get tons of spruce wood just by spamming bone meal and saplings. So basically I sit and the wood farms itself. And I managed to get all of this spruce wood. Now we can take that wood and fly over here because we just have to fly across this little forest. And then this area right here is the potential Nautilus base. And our little guy is still alive and spinning in a circle. Now we just have to choose where exactly to start building. And we actually have 2 nice locations nearby. This one is bigger and in a warm ocean. So I'm thinking we take that. What the heck? That was creepy. And of course, let's take our Nautilus with us. And this place is actually looking so good too because there's a jungle all around us. So let's take all of the spruce wood and start building a platform. I'm basically building a giant dock, but in a circle and in the middle of the ocean, not connected to any land. But that is just the beginning because this circle is only the center of this build because I will create an entire village on water. Don't worry, it's going to be completely safe because the wooden platforms are connected to the ocean floor, so the villagers will be fine. Unless someone accidentally starts a fire or drown come to the surface and eat them. This is fine. But for my village vision to become reality, we need to branch out even more. Let's take more spruce wood and then add a wooden path going out from this side, kind of like a bridge that will connect to even more platforms. And then we can do that on the 3 other sides of the circle too. This is definitely going to be huge. It is done, but my wooden bridges don't lead anywhere yet, so I know exactly what we need. Another circle. Once the circle is in place, there's going to be so much room for cool houses and water builds and a home for all my Nautilus friends. But before I can get to that, it's just a whole bunch of counting blocks to get the circle right, and then a lot of spruce wood spamming, but also connecting all the pillars to the ocean floor. I totally wouldn't do this if I didn't have the spruce farm and had to chop it manually. It took way longer to add these pillars than it did to build the platforms themselves, but now it's done and a wild Nautilus is exploring it already, which is a good sign. And from this circle we can add more docks and build a bunch of ships and houseboats all over this place. But first we gotta decide on a block palette, and one block stands out as a typical ocean block, and it's one I don't have. Prismarine. Those can only be found in an ocean monument, so I have to go there and slay all of the guardians that live there. First I was thinking we just take some potion of water breathing, but then I realized we already have the Nautilus who gives us water breathing, so we can just take our new friend to the ocean monument. If we have one nearby, because my Nautilus is here and we need to swim it over to an ocean monument. But right above my base is this creepy ice biome, and there's an ocean monument right here. The problem is it doesn't connect to this ocean unless we make it connect. Maybe we can just dig a trench going all the way through this land. I really want to go on an adventure with my Nautilus, so I'm going to do a lot of digging to make it happen. I thought it would just be a little bit of dirt digging, but I actually had to dig through a giant hill, so it was mostly stone mining, which took way longer than I thought. I finally reached the cold, icy world, but now we just go back and add all of the water. And now the Nautilus tunnel is complete, connecting us to the creepy ice biome and the even creepier ocean monument. But before I can go there, I need to get a couple things to prepare. I need my chest plate so I'm more protected against the guardians, and also just so I have a trident in that chest. I think I got that from a drowned once and just put it there and never used it. So now the time has come, because this is the ultimate underwater weapon. We just need to enchant it. Loyalty, that's perfect. And I'm breaking. Wait, and there's also another thing I can use underwater that's also new to the game. The spear. And it just costs 1 diamond to craft. That is perfect. Oh my gosh, look at me. It's so tall. This is the coolest thing ever. Of course, we gotta try and enchant this one too. Bane of arthropods. I don't want that. Let's try this again. I'm breaking. Not again. Please. Lunge. And sharpness. That could be good. I can lunge. That is actually a new enchantment. Haha. Oh my gosh. Is lunging this? What? Whee! No way! I'm coming for all of the guardians. But I also just realized we need to protect the Nautilus too, so we can get Nautilus armor. I thought you could craft it, but you actually can't. You can only find them in shipwrecks. So I need to fly super far away where the chunks haven't loaded yet, so I can load in the new update that actually has the Nautilus armor. I flew a really long time, but now I'm in another frozen ocean and there's a ship right here. Let's check this one. Yes! Iron Nautilus armor. I mean, it's not diamond, but it's something. And a buried treasure map, which can also lead to Nautilus armor. I hear something growling. Ooh, there's a polar bear above me. I also just saw one of these drowned temples, and they can also have Nautilus armor. So maybe it is our lucky day. Wait, it's frozen solid. Hello? No! Definitely not our lucky day. Ah! Definitely and most certainly not our lucky day. Let's fly away and loot more ships. Of course it is guarded by another mama bear. No thank you. Go away. Leave me alone. I'm not here. Aw man, it's just riches. Now let's see if the treasure gives us more Nautilus armor. I found it. Aw man, no Nautilus armor. And it took even more flying to find the next boat, but now I finally have it. Wait, no, that's a rock. I'm so dumb. I flew a really long distance again, but finally found a giant ocean. Please have more Nautilus armor. Please, more riches. I just want Nautilus armor. Hello? No. Well, hello there. Okay, treasure map. And it also doesn't have Nautilus armor, just a bunch of diamonds. I found a drowned temple with a chest and the drowned died. That is good. And it has diamond Nautilus armor. Let's go. I also found another ship which had copper Nautilus armor. So now we have 3 different kinds, and there are also 3 kinds of Nautilus variants, so we have one for each of them, and we can fly back home. This really long way home. 10 years later. Guys, my elytra just broke, but I was over the water, so I didn't die. That could have gone so wrong. I was so lucky, and I also have backup elytras. I could have lost all of my stuff in the middle of nowhere, but I didn't, so I guess today is my lucky day after all. But I finally made it home. So let's fix my elytra by trading with the villagers. Also, look at them all sleeping in their beds. That is so cute. cute. But now my wings are fixed, so we are so back. Now we can finally get back to our Nautilus, and I also think I'm going to name him Percy. And Percy here can get his new armor. Now he's looking really shiny. And now we gotta go and see if my water tunnel works. And we can also try out the spear on some unsuspecting squid. Whoa, I got it! I just got it! Oh, drowned. Whoa, let's go. The Elder Guardians better watch out. Water tunnel, here we go. Come on, Percy, you can do it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go in the ceiling. No! I think we actually have to dig 1 block deeper. Pro Minecraft. Anyway, I fixed it, so let's try this again. And now we're in the ice biome. And it's dark, I'm scared, I'm gonna sleep. Now we just swim under the ice where the polar bears can't see us until we get to the ocean monument. It's actually so magical to explore this frozen underwater world. I can see the scary lights of the ocean monument and the scary guardians. Die, Mr. Fish. And the Elder Guardians are right here. Let's dig in before they get us with the mining fatigue. If you hurt my Nautilus, you big fish. Oh no, wait, I'm gonna die. Oh no, this guy's strong. Perish. Oh, now I get mining fatigue. No, 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 please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. This is so embarrassing. Percy, go, run away. I got this. Rah! I don't have it. I don't have it. Trident. I missed. Trident. Yes. And... yes! I got the fish! And he dropped his head. Come on, Percy. You're coming with me. Onwards to Elder Guardian number 2. I think I'm going to need some water breathing after all. No more drowning. And no more dying to fish! Guys, I'm gonna die. Guys, I'm gonna die. Where's my food? Ah! No! Why did I just die to that? That's so embarrassing. Now Percy is all alone in there, and so's all my good stuff. Back up, Elytra, and we're getting back there. There it is, that stupid ocean monument. Wait, oh gosh, I'm drowning so fast. Guys, I'm so stupid. Why did I not bring backup armor? I'm gonna die again. I'm gonna die again. I need to pick up my stuff. I need to pick up my stuff. Oh gosh, I'm drowning. I'm drowning. Where's the water breathing? Sit on this. Percy just saved my life, big time. Of course I didn't pick up my food. I picked up this one singular cod. I'm slowly getting my health back. Ah! How did I just die? Let's try this again. This time we're going back with water breathing and a chest plate. Oh gosh. And we're eating a golden apple. Hitbox is on, and then we find my stuff. I think I got everything back except my spear, which is just super sad. At least Percy survived, and I tied him up out here. But I think now we just go back inside and finish what we started. Now we go fight that other guardian. Ah, there he is. No, thank you. We do the trident way. I missed. Trident in your eye. And trident in your eye. And trident. Yes! Got him! Now we just need to kill the third one. And the guy is up here. Hello? Trident in your eye. And trident. And trident. I'm so glad I didn't lose the trident. Got him! I'm just going to hide in the wall and mine out all of this normal prismarine and the prismarine bricks. And these are going to be really great building blocks for our Nautilus village. I managed to get a bunch of prismarine, but now I'm almost out of water breathing. So I think let's get back home, and if we need more, we can always come back. Not that I want to come back though. Goodbye, horrible monument. After that underwater chaos, I spent some time on my Enderman farm, getting back some XP, and then enchanting new tools because I didn't just lose the spear, I also lost my bow. At least I think so, because it's hard to tell in all that chaos. Now I've got my spear back with the exact enchants, and I got this super cool infinity bow. We are so back. Now that I have XP, I can also add another armor stand to my ever-growing flamingo army in my mining basement, because every time I get a Mega Burp channel member, they get an armor stand. And it's looking very cute and pink down here already. And I've also got some spare name tags, so we can also give one to Percy. And Percy has also little shells next to its name tag, which is super cute. But now we can finally get back to working on the build. We've got a bunch of prismarine, and we've also got lots of spruce wood. But another color that I want to have in my village is white, so we can farm tons of pale wood. But we have to do that manually because the wood types that need 4 saplings to grow cannot be farmed in my wood farm. But I think some manual tree chopping is kind of relaxing and satisfying. I've also found tons of pale wood in my storage, so we're gonna have plenty now. And we can also get some texturing blocks like diorite and white wool, and also some calcite. I'm so glad that I have most of the resources in my storage. So now we can finally start constructing the first building of our water village. The first building just has to be the one in the center of the village. It's going to be a giant tower floating on water that is made of pale wood, beautifully decorated with spruce, and a prismarine roof on top. But of course we also have to decorate it. So first of all, we can add some lanterns all over the walls so no creatures crawl on this beautiful village. No creeping and no crawling. Then we also gotta add some greenery, and I was thinking to do something ocean related. And the most water related kind of stuff are drip leaves, especially the cute small ones. So I just have to go down here, not die to all the creatures that are spawning here, and grab tons of... I'm not here. Ignore me. Creeper, 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 zombie, creeper, zombie, creeper, zombie. I mean, I got one drip leaf, yay. Let's try and get as many of the small drip leaves as we can because we can just bone meal the big ones. Go away. Stupid skelly. Perfect timing to try out my new bow. Let's also grab a bunch of clay while we're here. Let's leave, I'm scared. The small drip leaves can only grow when they're in water unless they're on clay, so we can just put them right here. And so we don't have an ugly clay wall on my tower, we can just put the beautiful shelves in front of it. And to get more big drip leaves, we just do this. No caving required. And I added those on every single side of the tower so it's a little bit greener. Plus I also added some planter boxes down here. And to make it even greener, we can also grab a bunch of azalea leaves. And these are gonna make the place look even better. We can also add some flower pots, and I also brought some cool pottery shirts that have this flow pattern. So we can put it here and it looks like a Nautilus shell, which kind of fits the theme. And it's even prettier with the blue orchid. And of course it just started raining, but we can also add some lily pads all over this area. Another thing this tower needs is a flag right on top. Of course I had to build it in the color of the ocean, and I think it's looking really cool. So the outside of the tower is complete now. And the purpose of this tower is that it kind of serves as a central station for all the Nautilus. We can just swim through here underwater, and then we arrive inside of the tower. And then we need some kind of Nautilus stable in here so Percy doesn't swim away. And we can exit here and access the rest of the village. So it's like a train station but underwater. And instead of riding a train, you ride a giant snail. And drowned are here to get you too. Goodbye. Yay, I got a drowned head! This makes such lovely decor for our build. Poor little drowned. And for the Nautilus stable, we need to build something out of fences in water. And then we can add some fence gates so the Nautilus doesn't get out. But it can also swim underneath, so we can add some slabs. And the drowned are here again to ruin my building experience. Let's test if it works. So we just swim in here, we open the fence gate, and then Percy goes right in. We close it, we get off Percy. And he cannot go anywhere. I'm so sorry, Percy, but it's for your own safety because the drowned cannot get you in there. Now we have 6 stables available for tons of Nautiluses, or not a lie. And we can continue working on the rest of the village, starting with these pillars here, and they need to be prettier, so I'm adding trapdoors on top. I've also noticed a bunch of drowned spawning under here, so I'm gonna make it safer for the villagers that are gonna live here in the future, and I'm gonna add fences everywhere, so the villagers cannot accidentally go for a swim and then drown to the drowned. And the drowned also cannot get in. I started spamming fences and trapdoors all around the circle, not just on the small one, but also on the big one, which cost me several stacks of fences, but it was worth it. I did leave a bunch of openings though, because of course I want to attach more docks and buildings to this place, so we cannot have fences everywhere. I also haven't added fences to the 4 bridges yet, because I want to make them even prettier. I want to create a wavy pattern out of spruce stairs, which are gonna serve as the railing. Then we add some lanterns on top to prevent the creeping and crawling, and now it's looking really cool, like a little wave. I did that on every single side and it's looking so good. Just adding all of these details has improved this place so much. And I think in between building and decorating this place, we should also stay up at night, and we can go look for the other Nautilus variants, because both of them are zombie Nautiluses. And one of them is even so rare that it can only be found in the coral reef. So I'm gonna fly over there, and maybe I'll get lucky. And if not, I can always get more pufferfish. I didn't find any zombie Nautiluses this night, but I managed to get a bunch of pufferfish. And I also learned how incredibly rare the zombie variants are, because first the trident drowned has to spawn, and then there's a small chance that the trident drowned is gonna spawn on a zombie Nautilus. This is the first time in my life that I actually want a trident drowned to spawn. But a normal Nautilus just spawned, so I'm gonna tame this guy so Percy has a friend. So now he's no longer alone, and we can get back to building. And I was thinking, what kind of builds does a water village need? So I made a little to-do list of all the things I could think of. And I think the most important thing to me right now is getting lots of pufferfish, so I can tame more Nautilus. I feel like the civilization who's going to live here needs to have several choices on how to get pufferfish so they can tame a bunch of Nautiluses. They could either take their boats out to the coral reef and kill them there, or they do it right in front of their house by fishing. So the next build we're going to work on is a safe place where we're going to fish, and also a place that's going to sell fishing rods. I'm just going to create a giant wooden platform that's floating on water, and this is going to be the place where we build the next house. And also there's a parrot swimming in my ocean. Hello. For this build we're going to need pale wood and spruce wood again, but I also need to grab some additional blocks from my storage, like a couple bricks, and also some copper blocks. We can also make some cyan dye, and then we can get some nice ocean blue glass. Now I have all of the resources, so we can get all of the pale wood and start building up the walls of my new fish market. It's going to be a very stinky fish market. The walls are almost done, but it's also nighttime, so I'm back to my zombie Nautilus hunting. This time I'm trying the scary dark ocean because drowned spawning is more common. And look, there's a trident drowned, but sadly not on a Nautilus. So this guy can die. Oh my gosh, there are so many drowned here. I'm not scared. I fought a trident drowned that had the loyalty enchant on the trident, so the trident kept circling back to to it, which was super creepy. Then I realized I'm stupid because this is in a river biome. And Nautilus drowned don't spawn in a river biome. So next time I'm actually gonna go to an ocean, but now we're gonna finish this fish market. A market building needs an awning, so we can add one out of wool and prismarine bricks. It's giving ocean vibes, and from our ocean vibes we can add the blue glass windows. And for the roof we can add a spruce wood trim, and we fill it in with prismarine. I also added a chimney, and the build is looking really cool already, but it's still not giving fish vibes. And the best thing that can give fish vibes is something that says fish. Like, I'm literally going to make banners that say fish. So now we can spell out fish on the wall, and also a little fish banner with an actual fish. Now that is what I call a fish market. And I would imagine this place would also smell really bad. So let's decorate this stinky fish place by adding a bunch of barrels. And they can have some fish heads to display all the stinky stuff that is being sold here. Look at this poor little puffer fish. I also decorated the inside and added a bunch of storage and fishy decor. Literally. It's also nighttime again, so I'm going Nautilus hunting, this time in an actual ocean and not a river biome. I found a drowned structure which actually had some stone spears, which was pretty cool. And I also found golden Nautilus armor in a sunken ship. And also found even more copper Nautilus armor. But still no zombie Nautilus. I'm not giving up though. One night I'm gonna find them. Wait, guys, I just found it. What the heck? I was going to swim home. Oh my gosh, wait. How do I kill this guy without killing the other guy? Die. Die to the spear. Come on, die. Yes! Yes! I got the guy! I got the guy! We need to tame him. Come on, eat this. Please love me. Yes! We got him. We got him. Saddle. We got him. We got the zombie Nautilus. Literally a super rare mob in Minecraft. No way, there's another one. I'm gonna go get another one. Unless I die. Die. Come on. Yes! Here, nummy nummy nummy. Num num num. Pufferfish. Yes! We got another one. That's literally so cool. This guy's gonna get some armor on. Then I'm gonna put him on a lead. And this guy's also gonna get armor because once it gets day, I think they're going to burn in the sun. So now they're going to be safe and we can take them home. There's literally no way that I just found two of them. Best day ever. Or night, because it's still nighttime. I'm so glad I made that water tunnel. Ow. Because now we can just take our Nautilus friends home with us, just like that. And home sweet Nautilus base. Of course, we're going to take the cool underwater entrance right into the Nautilus stables. Ow! I just dashed into the wall. And zombie guy number 1 can go in here. And zombie guy number 2 in here. And look, they also have these creepy blue eyes, just like the drowned. Stop coming over. Go away. Goodbye. And if you have any name ideas for these cute guys, let me know in the comments. There's still one super mega rare zombie Nautilus variant, and maybe we're gonna find that later. But now it's time to get back to our fish market. First up, let's extend the dock next to the fish market, which are also filled with a bunch of storage, and a little walkway to the back of the shop that has more storage. And this is also a very cozy fishing spot. Then we can also add a little overhang, which is connected to the side of the fish market. And now this place looks even better. Another thing this fish market needs is boats. So we can extend the dock again, this time using trapdoors. And then left and right of that, we can add big boats. And guess what block I want to use to build them? Dark prismarine. Why am I like this? So we fly back to the ocean monument. Then we just ignore all of the guardians and dive right in. Hi fishies, bye fishies. And here's the dark prismarine. I just had a big brain idea and just crafted some doors. And this time there hopefully won't be any drowning because I can just go inside the doors and get some air. I also found the secret gold jackpot in the walls, so I'm going to be rich now. And look at that, I have 2 stacks of dark prismarine and some more of the other stuff. There's an icy mountain with a hole. Let's fly right through it. Yay! It's those little things that make Minecraft so much fun. And now it's boat build time. So I built 2 identical looking boats next to each other made of dark prismarine and a little bit of pale wood and some copper. So now we have these really cool boats that we can actually access with a ladder. And this place is looking really cool. I also want to do some actual fishing, and I found a luck of the sea fishing rod. But if we manage to get a fully enchanted fishing rod, we might actually be getting some really cool loot. Let's see what kind of enchants we can get. Lure, it's just lure. Lure 3, and I'm breaking. And I managed to get this cool fishing rod. I've literally never fished in this world before, so let's see what we get. Fishy, fishy. Come on. And first fish caught. That's very stinky. Then I spent some time chilling and fishing just to see what loot I would get. And I kind of got addicted to fishing because every time I caught something, I just had to go one more. But now I finally managed to stop myself. And we got some pretty amazing loot, especially the pufferfish. Then we also got 4 saddles, a mending bow, Nautilus shells, and some really cool enchanted books, and a whole bunch of random garbage. But the best thing is that I also caught this amazing fishing rod, so now I have 2 really good ones. And I'm going to leave them right here in this chest. So whenever I feel the urge to go fishing, I can come to my Nautilus village and do it right here. But now we actually have to continue building the Nautilus village because we only have these 2 buildings here so far. We've taken care of a good food supply for the villagers because we now have a fish market. So the villagers have to eat fish for all eternity. Teehee. And next we could do something for our spinning friends. A pufferfish shop. I collected all of the resources for it and it involves a lot of glass. And I'm gonna build it to the left of the fish market right here. So we branch out again and add another dock. And of course it just started raining as I said that. It always rains in my world. But when the rain was gone, I'd already built another platform with a little trapdoor bridge. So this is where the pufferfish shop is going to go. This time I'm not going to use any pale wood for the walls and instead I'm going to use a bunch of glass. So the build basically looks like a greenhouse, but it's for fish. So it's more like an aquarium, but as a house. I think it's really cute with a tiny tower in the ceiling. And we can decorate it more by adding some azalea leaves and a bunch of cute potted plants. And then we have this open entrance, and in here I want to add some pufferfish enclosures. And I'm going to try to fit 4 fish tanks on each of these walls. So we can have some stairs and some dirt behind it. And a pillar separating the tanks from each other. And then these are going to be our fish tanks. And before we build more aquariums on top, we actually have to catch some pufferfish and put them in there. And I can already see a little guy. Come here. Ow! He got me. Now we put the little fishies in the tank. Ow! And cover it up so they don't poison me again. And then we add another fish tank. The first wall of fish tanks are done and looking really cool. And when we get up close, the pufferfish get really big because they want to poison me so badly. No. I've also done the other side, so now we have 2 walls of aquariums. I also added some barrels where pufferfish can be sold, you know, the dead kind. Kinda awkward next to the living ones. Then we also have a beautiful carpet and a sign outside that says it's Mrs. Puff's pufferfish shop. And this is Mrs. Puff. I also did something incredibly silly and added another pufferfish aquarium in the glass tower on top of the house. So now that guy, ow, can live in here. And that means Mrs. Puff's pufferfish shop is officially done. So we have a beautiful place where we can go and collect the food for our Nautiluses and hopefully tame cool new ones in the future. Like the coral zombie variant, I must have it. I also just realized how much work I still have to do on this Nautilus base before it's done. But I also just thought of even more cool Nautilus related build ideas. We could build something for Nautilus equipment, like a Nautilus armor forge. I collected all the usual resources again, but because this is a forge, we also need some other blocks. And I wanted to go and look at one of the forges I've built before, and that is the cherry forge in my cherry blossom village. And for this one, I used a bunch of stony blocks and added chimneys and lava and some traumatized villagers. So we're gonna grab a bunch of stony blocks and some bricks for chimneys. And there's a chicken in my storage room and it laid an egg on the stone cutter. That's creepy, let's leave. And this time the platform is already way bigger than all of the other ones I've built so far, so that we can fit several things on here, starting with a small house. And the building has the usual pale wood walls, and I made this really cool arched entrance using shelves and trapdoors. And we fill in the roof with prismarine to stick to the ocean vibes. But this cute little building is only the house for the blacksmith, and we can build the forge part in the remaining empty space. We can start by building a giant furnace that can smelt all of the ores, and that's also going to be our chimney. I also want to build up a little overhang and then connect it to the rest of the house. And you guessed it, with even more prismarine in the roof. Okay, I'm actually so happy with this so far. Let's just add a couple more forge-related things like this anvil, and then this place is going to look even better. And I've decorated it even more, and I fenced it in, and I added some lava in here. We can flick the lever, but we can never burn ourselves. Weird Minecraft logic. Then I also have a couple mini blocks like one of a furnace, which is really cute, and the blacksmith can hammer away on some copper ingots on the anvil or grind down a Nautilus shell on the grindstone. And then in here we can store the Nautilus armor, and I actually have one left over. So when we find more in our ocean travels, we can always store them in here. Another equipment related structure could be for the saddle, so we can build something for that right next to the Nautilus forge. And of course it started raining again, but I built up this little platform because I'm just gonna put a tiny market stall on here. And I tried to make this market stall really cute and cozy with a bunch of flowers and little mini barrels. And in here I can store all of the saddles for the Nautilus. I'm also gonna spend every night in the warm ocean taking out all of the sea pickles because they light up the ocean and then the drowned won't spawn. And it's only in this small warm ocean part that we can find the coral zombie Nautilus, the last variant I still haven't found, and I'm so determined. Also, since when are there mummies in the game? Look at this guy. And there's another one. They look pretty cool, but I don't want to die, so I'm gonna stay in the ocean. It's probably gonna take me a couple nights until I find the coral zombie Nautilus, but at least now I have a bunch of sea pickles that I can use to decorate this village. We can also add them under the village so the drowned no longer spawn and ruin my day. And with that, we've also made it safer for the villagers that are gonna live here. And speaking of villagers, so far we've just built a bunch of Nautilus-related houses, but no actual homes for the villagers. And I'm not gonna make them sleep in the poisonous pufferfish aquarium, even though that would be kind of funny. We're going to build them a bunch of real homes. So I'm going to start by building a bunch of platforms in the spaces where I think a villager house would look nice. I added additional docks and a whole bunch of platforms. I also branched out even more and built diagonal docks on all of the 4 sides. So now we can build even more houses and have easy access to them. Also, something really stupid happened because look, the rare coral zombie Nautilus spawned in. Then he's going over there and just despawns. And here I come, super excited, and it's just the trident round. I'm sure you can imagine how angry I was. At least now I know that it is possible for the rare coral zombie Nautilus to spawn here. I just need to be faster next time. And after totally not getting sidetracked hunting for the rare Nautilus, we can get back to building the villager houses. And of course it just started raining as I wanted to start building. Why Minecraft? But I didn't waste the rainy day and sorted all of my resources and put together shulker boxes for all of the villager houses with all of the resources for the interior too. Once the pesky rain was gone, I could finally start building the first villager house. And this one is going to be a little worn down but cozy cottage. Then I took a little building break to try and look for the coral zombie Nautilus again. But unfortunately the drowned that spawned didn't ride a Nautilus. I'm sure we're gonna get lucky and find the coral Nautilus at some point. So I won't give up and continue building more cute villager houses all over the place. So when we do find the coral guy, we can welcome them into a beautiful village. But I definitely don't want to welcome that guy into my village. He somehow latched himself onto the house and he's connected to it with a lead. He literally put my house on a lead. Oh no, my spear slipped. Oh no, it slipped again. And again. And again. Can he die already? Okay, you saw nothing. Now we can work on the house interiors, and I'm gonna make it super detailed and add lots of beds and bookshelves and other cute decor in all of the houses, so the villagers will hopefully have a good life in this village. Unless the drowned get them, of course, but I'll probably slay them all before they can get anywhere near the villagers, because I'm still angry at them for despawning the coral Nautilus. Now 3 of the villager houses are fully decorated, and I tried to make them as cottagecore as possible and did really cute interior, even crammed in this tiny space. And we have some questionable wall decor. I have no idea how that got there. It was Herobrine. And this house here is a beautiful outdoor sitting area. And then inside we have a bunk bed with a little painting of the ocean, or whatever that's supposed to be. And I also killed one of those new desert skeleton mobs, and they're actually called the Parched, and they dropped this head. So now the villagers have to look at that while they sleep. Teehee. But this house here is my absolute favorite. We've got some really cute beds on the inside, more bookshelves, and I also made a little aquarium with tropical fish. And even cooler, we have a little way outside and our little private porch. That could be another potential fishing spot. But I definitely cannot get distracted and go fishing again, because this place is still not done. I've actually set up another house plot here, but while I was building the other houses, I got an even cooler idea. Instead of this being just a house for the villagers, this can be a Nautilus spa, where we can breed baby Nautiluses and they can relax until they grow up. Like a daycare, but for Nautiluses. The walls are in place, but for the roof I'm going to do something completely different, because even though we use the same block palette for all of the builds here, I still want every single one to be unique. And I came up with this roof shape and I love it. The whole building is really cute, and I named it the Little Ammonite Daycare, because ammonites are actually really similar creatures to the Nautilus, but they went extinct like millions of years ago. But the Nautilus survived until now, which is kind of creepy when you think about that. For the inside we have a little water tank where we can add some seagrass and kelp, and that's where the babies can grow up, and later we can release them out here. I also added some storage and a cute sitting area so we can sit here and watch the babies grow up. So how about we try and breed some of our Nautiluses? You cannot breed the zombie Nautiluses, so we're gonna take Percy and Percy's friend. The best thing is that the Little Ammonite Daycare has an underwater entrance, so we can just ride both of them in there. And I think we can breed them just by feeding them some pufferfish. They're slowly moving towards each other. Yay! Look at this little guy! Look at this tiny little baby Nautilus! I love it so much. I wish I could just sit there for 20 minutes and watch the baby grow up. But we still have a bunch of villager houses to build, so let's get back to it. And I built another cozy little cottage, but so this one can be unique from the other builds, I added a little boat-shaped thing in front of it. So it's actually a houseboat that is boat-shaped. It even has a little engine back here. So if the villagers hate their neighbors, they can just start their boat and just leave town. And maybe the reason they would want to leave town regularly is so they can collect a bunch of flowers, because they love collecting flowers. And I also added a beautiful interior with more flowers. I like flowers. But I also don't like the empty space in between the pufferfish shop and the villager houseboat. boat, but I just had a really cool idea for this place. We just add another dock, then we add some little chairs and tables here, so the villagers have a cozy sitting area. I even added this cute little table in the middle with a flower and a beautiful parasol. So now we also have a really cute community spot for the villagers. Now we have 4 villager houses, but I still think that isn't enough. So why don't we build them homes in actual boats? We haven't built anything on this side of the village yet, so it's about time. After another quick trip to the dreadful ocean monument to stock up on more prismarine, I grabbed the rest of the resources from my storage and put together a shulker box for the first boat. I love the idea of living on a boat and being able to travel around the sea, and you always have your home with you. I hope the villagers will love it too. And I'm really proud with how this boat turned out, and whoever lives here is also a big fan of flowers. I also did the interior already and added a little table so we can have breakfast on our ship, and then on the inside we have a little desk and a bed up here in the ceiling. I used a lot of prismarine on this boat, and I don't think we can build another ship with the remaining prismarine I have, and I don't want to go to the ocean monument again. So it's time we get creative and get another material that will look good on a ship. I was looking through all of the resources in my storage and I ended up at my basalt chest, and I think that would be really cool. And I'm also going to use some warped wood. For the second houseboat we can make another dock, so every home has its own street. I also made a walkway towards the ship, so now we just have to construct the ship's hull out of basalt. And it looks really cool but also kind of dark and gloomy. So to contrast the dark nether vibes, we can add the usual pale wood walls on top. And now even though I used a bunch of different blocks, the ship still fits into the block palette of this whole village. And I really love it. Now we just have to decorate the interior, and of course I'm going to spam more flowers. Even though the ship is fairly big, the interior is so tiny. But I fit a bed and some bookshelves and of course more flowers. I also just had a funny idea. Why don't we name all of the ships? So this one is going to be called the Nautilus, and this one here is called Seize the Day. And I'm totally seizing the day, and I'm going to build more boats. I started with a small fishing boat next to the tiny villager hut so they can have their own boat. Then I created even more docks and built 3 more boats that aren't going to be used for living in them, but for going out to fish or exploring the ocean. I also found some really bad Nautilus puns online, so this boat is called Not So Fast. And this one over here is Not Like This. And I was thinking this dock where most of the ships are parked could be the entrance to the village, because right in this direction the river leads to my starter base island. And if this is the entrance, that means we need a beautiful welcome sign, like this lovely arched entrance. Now we just need a good name for this village. Okay, I think I got a really good one. Welcome to Nautica, which means something like off the sea or navigation related. And it also sounds super mystical and magical, and that is the perfect vibe for this village. And that got me thinking this village also needs a banner, something that represents this ocean town. Speaking of ocean town, look at this. There's another zombie Nautilus guy here. Die, Mr. Drowned. It's still not my super rare coral zombie variant, but they're still kind of rare and can't be bred, so now we have 3 of them. Anyway, for the cool Nautica banner, I want this flow pattern, and you can get that banner pattern from a trial chamber. I totally still have to build a bunch of things in this village, but here I am getting distracted for a simple banner pattern, and I know there's a trial chamber under my base. Now we just put the chest plate on, drink this ominous potion bottle with the highest difficulty, and now we're gonna try to be brave and slay all of the monsters. Ah! Oh, that scared me so bad. I'm brave, I can do it. And we're getting potatoes as a reward. Scammers. It was a bunch of panicking and struggling with the monsters, but then I realized I own totems of undying. So why am I even panicking? I don't need to set my spawn. I'm never going to die. I'm not scared of these guys. Ooh, and I got a key as a reward. Die, scaly, die, scaly, die, scaly, die. And I found one of the key vaults, so let's see if we get something good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. First try. Guys, what? No way! The flow banner pattern! First trial chamber room and first vault I open, and we got it. I just want to open one more vault since I have another key. Okay, that's some garbage. I'm so glad I got lucky first try. Now let's get out of here and never come back. I got some pretty epic loot from the trial chamber, including a bunch of cool mob heads, like the bogged head or a husk head. I really love when things just work out like that. But now it is banner making time. We're gonna add this really cool dark blue effect, and then a flower banner pattern, and then this cool one on top. Look at this banner, it's so good. And we can easily duplicate it by crafting a bunch of light blue banners and then putting them together in the crafting table. So now we have 8 of them, and I'm gonna spam them all over this place so everyone knows this is the symbol of Nautica. I spammed them on every single side of the tower and a whole bunch on a little garland over the villager houses. But now that I've started decorating, we also need to decorate a whole bunch of this village. All of the empty spaces in between the houses, and of course the big empty spaces in the middle. And I have a really cool idea to make these caves, water markets, and public parks. But building public parks takes me on another adventure far away into the ocean because I want to plant a special flower there, and those flower seeds can only be dug up by a sniffer. I don't think I've done much with a sniffer before, but I know you need to go into a warm ocean and then dig around with a brush in an ocean ruin. And there's one over here. There's some sus sand here, so now we brush it, and it's a pottery sherd. I didn't find anything here, which means I have to fly to a different warm ocean. All the way down here, I found another drowned temple. Now we go brushy on the sus sand. Oh my gosh, please. No, it's coal. Another pottery sherd. Come on. Yes, egg. We got it. Smells interesting. It hopefully smells like flowers soon. And back home we go. We can put the egg on a moss block and then it hatches faster, but it's still going to take some time for this thing to hatch. So while we wait, we can build up the wooden walkways off the markets and parks. And next to the walkway, I also added 3 platforms, and I did that on every single side. And a bunch of cracks have appeared on the egg, so it's going to hatch soon. And we can already get to work and set up a bunch of market stalls on these platforms. So when the villagers want to buy something on the market, they have to walk on these very narrow planks. They also have to be careful not to drop their emeralds into the water while they're purchasing something. 2 of the market stalls are built, and the sniffer egg has even more cracks. And the market stalls could sell a bunch of exotic ocean things like corals, so we can just mine up a bunch of them from the coral reef. We can craft those corals into mini coral blocks, and those can be displayed here, and they're not going to die and dry out. Oh my gosh, it hatched! Oh my gosh, this is so cute! It's like a mossy dog. I think he has to grow up until he can sniff something, so I'm just gonna leave him here in this dirt patch, and I can keep on building my markets. Go away, drowned. So far we have the coral market stall, and one selling kelp and seagrass. I've also built a 3rd market stall on this side, and this one is selling a whole bunch of random ocean things. It's a mix between rare ocean treasures and random garbage. I think 3 market stalls are going to be enough, and the rest are going to be public parks. I still have to wait for this little guy to grow up so I can plant the flowers, but we can already build some park benches. And there's another zombie Nautilus guy who's just coming to my base. There's just no way they just show up at my house now. No, don't burn. I'm so sorry. You can just live here now, little zombie Nautilus. That was so random, but the first park area is done with a beautiful parasol and a head of the drowned I just killed. I also built up a platform in the warm ocean, and I'm not going to leave until I spot a coral zombie Nautilus. I just need to have it. 10 years later, I see it. Don't despawn. Die, Trident Man. Yes, do not despawn, I swear to God. Tame. Armor on. We got it. Dude, this took so long. I stood there for like an hour, but I didn't give up and I got it. The last Nautilus variant goes in the last stable slot. And now look at this guy. It's overgrown by corals and there's even some sticking out. It's so beautiful and really cool. I love this guy so much. Definitely worth the many nights that I spent looking for it. This guy deserves a special name. Poseidon, the god of the sea. And since the chunks were unloaded here, the sniffer still hasn't grown up. It takes 40 real-life minutes for the sniffer to grow up, which is twice as long as any other baby mob in Minecraft. So I'm going to pass some more time and plant a bunch of custom trees. And the sniffer's all grown up now. I fenced him in here, so let's hope he's going to dig something up. Yes. Sniff. What can he smell? He's doing it. What the heck? This is so weird. That's the one for the torch flowers, so now I just need the other one and several more of each. While I waited for the sniffer to give him the right seeds, I continued decorating the village. I added a couple flags around the place. I also added water playgrounds. This one has a jumping board and you can jump into the pool floaty, or you can chill on these beach chairs. And over here we have more pool floaties and a lifeguard chair, and I can climb up here and be on the lookout for dangerous trident drowns. I also want to make it even safer for the villagers, so I'm going to build a bunch of street lanterns, which I'm going to build using these copper light bulbs and of course spruce decor around them. And I think this design is really cool. I added these lanterns all over the place, so hopefully there won't be any creeping and crawling from all of the monsters. And it's also looking really cool, by the way. So now it's finally time to bring some life into Nautica. I have a villager breeder on the hill in my base, and there are some poor unfortunate villagers in there. But don't worry guys, you're going to get an amazing new home. I managed to get 4 of the villagers, and the way we transport them is going to be really funny. We're just going to fly off this cliff, and the villagers are behind me, and I think we can even use the rockets. No, we cannot. Oh my gosh, I managed to stack the villagers. The boat is literally on the other boat. Awkward. I've scaffolded really hard, and let's see if it works this time. And the villagers are flying behind me. Let's go. No, I lost them. Oh my gosh, there are so many drowned. I need to swim them to safety really fast before the drowned get me. Ooh, they're so close. But our beautiful water village is already inside. Now we can release the villagers into their home. And I've also named the street, so these two are going to live on Lily Street, which is a street full of flowers. Be free, villagers. No, they're running out of the street again. Hello? And he's going back. Yes, go inside. Come on, come on. He just wanted the barrel. And this guy really wants to go into the market. Yay! He also wanted the barrel. Then these villagers can get out on Trident Street. And they're running away again. Seriously, they want the barrels? I spent so many hours building this village, and all they care about is a stupid barrel. Pro Minecraft. We also have Coral Street, which I decorated with a bunch of mini blocks. And this street is called Starfish, with creepy tropical fish heads. And guess what? The sniffer has finally dropped it. And no, that's not poop. That is the pitcher pod. And I'm going to make a little farm for them right here. So we can plant it, planting the pest, and we can bone meal it, and it creates this beautiful flower. But I think once we farm them, we also don't get the seeds. So we gotta use them very sparingly in our parks. And this one singular super rare flower can go in here next to the drowned head. So now we have a bunch of beautiful flower beds. Not that the villagers are gonna use it, because they're just gonna hug the barrels. Now we just have to get rid of this entire shulker monster that we created while building this. And now the city of Nautica is finally completed, and it's looking really beautiful. We collected all of the Nautilus variants. We went on a bunch of ocean adventures and found some cool ocean-related things, like the sniffer, and built so many cool houses and boats and other structures full of amazing things. It took over 100 in-game days to build this, and I'm really proud with it. And if you had fun too, consider subscribing and leaving a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye! The villager says, huh?